Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. With over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, fix and flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within Florida and Virginia. Our firm services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Let's Do It Talk Show. It's your girl, Ladrine Howard Peterson, the CEO and founder of Do It, delivering on ideas and thoughts. And you know what I do in a nutshell, right? I help to turn dreamers into doers, and I do it from two aspects. I do it from the aspect of career development, resume writing, interview preparation. You have an issue in your job, you're looking to change jobs. I'm your girl. And then from the aspect of business, if you have some ideas and thoughts and don't know how to bring them into fruition, if you have a business and you're looking to expand your marketing strategies, all things business, hey, I'm your girl. Here on the Let's Do It Talk Show, we offer a platform primarily for entrepreneurs. However, we know and we understand that it is more than just the business aspect of it. So we like to focus on the full person. So we talk about faith, we talk about finances, we talk about the future and legacy building, and we also talk about relationships. This episode is focusing on finances and our financial aspect. So we have all of our financial gurus who are here joining us today. And we call it Money Making Mondays. So before we jump into the show, you know what I do? I always share a little bit about my weekend and my various activities and the things that went on. So first of all, this weekend, my daughter celebrated her 30th birthday. So big shout out to my daughter. You'll see the pictures rolling. Yeah, so pretty much going from her as a little kid, her first picture, through various stages of grade school, getting married, hanging out, and then it'll move up to the point of Paris. So the thing was, we went to Paris last year, and she celebrated her 29th birthday. She went with me on a speaking engagement. However, when we were at the Eiffel Tower and we were having dinner, she said, oh my God, this is my 29th birthday. How am I going to top it for my 30th birthday? Which was crazy. So she had planned this extravagant trip to go to Jamaica, rented out a house with a cook and everything. It was going to be very lavish. But of course, her money was refunded because of the whole pandemic that's going on. So the thing was, I'm so glad and thankful that we had a grand celebration last year so that she doesn't feel like she missed out on anything. But she had a little something yesterday, but I don't do gatherings. It was a small gathering, but over 5 is a large gathering for me. So I was like, can't do it. So she had a great time. But also this weekend, there were so many birthdays. So shared birthdays with her is someone from my old neighborhood, Robert Bennett. 2 people that I grew up with school. So huge shout out to LaShawn Turner and also Levette Claiborne. I'm talking like elementary and junior high friends. And then also Saturday was Reverend Rice's birthday. So happy birthday to all the Torians in celebration of you. And you know, May is our month. So we have another birthday coming up coming forward. But it was also Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. And our little Let's Do It lady, her cape was flying. She wasn't using it because she was chilling on yesterday, but I thought that was so cute. So cute, so cute.
It was.
So, you know what we do here. We're going to allow our contributing hosts to introduce themselves. We have a show in store for you. So let's start off with you, Miss Bowles. How are you?
Hey, hello everyone. I'm doing well. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hope you guys had a great day. I'm Janice Bowles, and I am co-founder of The Premier Ventures, where we buy and beautify. We are a real estate investment company, and we do land development, and we buy properties and flip for resale. So happy to be here tonight, share some insight with regards to the mindset of keeping our mind, focused during this troubling time frame, and just happy to be here with you guys and share on Money Making Mondays.
Yes. Miss Fanning, how about you? Tell the people who you are.
Hi, everyone. Sacagawea Fanning here. So happy to see everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great Mother's Day out there. I was able to celebrate with my sister and my mom from afar. And I am the CEO founder of Fanning Financial Group. I help people with their budgets, finances, retirement, savings, just making sure to get your back on the right financial foot. Any missteps you have, they can always be corrected. So always remember that, okay?
Absolutely. And then we have Miss Shanae Robinson.
Hello, everyone. Happy belated Mother's Day, or as today I would like to call Marvelous Mom Day. Just remembering, what everybody did yesterday for their mom and how they celebrated. My name is Shanae Robinson, and I am the professional credit diva. I am the CEO and founder. What I do with my company is we help focused individuals, couples, and business owners achieve their goals and dreams by repairing, rebuilding, and restoring their credit scores.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Shanae. So our topic for today is ways your financial health impact your mental health. So as you all may or may not know, it is May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So that kind of like tied into and was the driver of our theme. So we want to make sure that we put focus on that and put highlight on that. And so in our area today, talking about finances, finances are like a big topic that's going on right now and highly impacted by the pandemic and everything that's going on. Everybody is impacted in some type of way. The uncertainty, as I quoted Janice a bit earlier today, the uncertainties is what really had people wondering like what's going to happen or feeling like they're losing footing in this particular area. So many people are talking about it. So we wanted to jump in and talk about a couple things. So we want to talk about how debt and depression match up together, how one of them impacts the other and how they coincide. And then we want to talk about mentally maintaining in a world that is failing. So how do you mentally maintain in a world that is failing? And then the last but not least is overspending is an obstacle to achieving wealth. So we're gonna dig in. We're gonna talk about that. So let's jump right on in the first topic and get the show on the road. So the first thing that we want to talk about is debt and depression. So Shanae, like that topic, it's just like it's so in alignment to what's going on and what we're talking about in terms of not only with it being Mental Health Awareness Month, but also again the pandemic, the jobs that have been lost, the number of people who are furloughed or cut back in their hours, and so many different things. When we think about how much is shut down in our world, it impacts a lot. Not only from a standpoint of what we're capable of doing, but think about it in terms of everything that's shut down. That's people that don't have jobs. So in terms of debt is climbing. As a nation, for all other different aspects, and I know in terms of the stimulus check, the whole point of that was to pour money back into the economical rounding, so that we won't fall into a depression as quickly as we're sinking. So take it away. Let's talk. Let's talk about debt and depression.
Well, that and depression definitely can go hand in hand, because to put it kind of loosely, when your money is funny, things get, really, really scary. And the thing with this pandemic is that we don't have end date. We do not know when things are going to go back to normal. We don't, know how to plan, because we don't really know what we're planning for. And that's where the difficulty, comes in, because it's really, a lot of people, we would say, living paycheck to paycheck. Now it's like living paycheck to Monday. Is it even going to last? And, a lot of companies are, offering to put things on the back end as far as like with your debt and everything. And I definitely recommend that you call each and every one of your creditors that you're not able to pay. If you're not able to pay at least the minimum, to definitely get in contact with each and every one of them to find out what's the least amount you can pay, if you can put it on the back end, if you can defer it, how it's going to affect you once, the pandemic is over, how many days you have to pay it, off. Is it going to be 30 days and then everything is due 120 days? A lot of information is being posted, on the internet and Facebook and everything else, and on social media, saying that, you can pay this bill late, this company is doing that. What I suggest to everyone is to find out for yourself. These are your bills. It's going to affect your household personally when we come out of this, because we will come out of it. We just don't know when. You're still going to need your credit. You're still going to need to be able to move forward. So if you're able to protect it and to keep it intact during this, at least at a minimum, then I urge you, that you do that. And if you can afford to pay your bills, then definitely continue to pay your bills. Even if your company is offering some type of deferment, if you can survive without having to tap into that for as long as you can, I recommend that you do, because it's going to go back to business as usual, and it's going to go back to business as usual really, really fast. And you don't want to be caught at, with a surprise. And like with the stimulus check, it was good, but for the most part, the stimulus is gone. And it's like we're still here, we still don't know what's going on. Even the folks that are lucky to still be employed, sometimes their hours are cut, so their paycheck, is still taking a hit. And you definitely need to create a budget if you haven't already, done so. Create a budget, but definitely follow that budget, because in the long run, it's definitely, going to help you. It's going to help you to become disciplined during this time. And, I would hate to see, for folks that have, worked so hard, to achieve different things, to suddenly, lose it. So you definitely have to become disciplined. You definitely have to plan and budget. And I know it's hard to some degree, but you definitely have to stay focused and stay positive and know that it is, going to come to an end. You just have to keep your mental together, while you work through it. And you're not the only one. So definitely understand that everybody is, going through some type of, disparity.
Absolutely. And that's very important, because even as you think about the mindset of people that go through various things, some people have a hard enough time paying their bills as it is.
Right.
And when you add this onto it of what's going on, it can really mess with people's mental. It really can get and start messing with your mental. So the important thing is to know that all of the creditors, everybody is in the same boat. Regardless if someone is at a better standpoint or not. The creditors know what's going on. So this is a time that you all should not be shy about reaching out to them because they are willing to work with you because again they know exactly what's going on. So it's not like they can squeeze anything or they think that you're not trying to pay them. So be wise, protect your credit, protect yourself as much as you can, but reach out and let them know so that they'll have it listed on record that you call. And if it's like a payment or something that you're pausing, they may already have something in play already lined up where they'll say for the next 6 months you don't have to pay or something in terms of that. But you won't know unless you reach out and call and talk to someone about it. So I think that's very important.
Definitely, yeah.
So any of you other ladies have anything else to add in terms of debt before we go to the next topic?
Well, I do. I want to just make a quick comment. And Shanae, I like when you had indicated that, reach out to your creditors and contact and pay something. I think that's very important. And what I'm thinking about particularly is like, for instance, with regards to there was a halt nationally with rentals and, and the stop of, eviction notices and things of that nature. People have to be very mindful and cautious in that aspect as well because, okay, yes, you don't have to necessarily pay your rent last month and the previous month before that, but this will end, and you don't want to get yourself in a situation where it's, okay, what's going to happen now? Because, and I take this myself because of the fact that I'm a landlord, and, I'm definitely starting out wanting to work with my tenants. If they needed, they could not pay, of course, no problem. I plan to work with them, those that, could not afford, monthly installments and back interim as well. But communication is just so important. So I like that you stress that importance, calling and contacting your creditors and just being real. So that's huge. That's huge.
Definitely.
And then one thing I wanted to add, I really like the way you said put a plan. That's the main thing, is put a plan in place. So you know what you need to pay once this is over, and you have an agreement in place. That's very key, because if you have that payment plan in place, then you know how to set yourself up budget-wise and know what needs to be paid when. But if you don't do that communication and put that plan in place prior to, it's going to catch you off guard. So the key thing to communication and planning. It's not like a get out of free jail thing that you don't have to pay your bills. No, it's just delaying the bill. So you need to keep that. That's the most important part. It's just a delay, not an absolution, that bill. So please keep that in mind.
Yeah, very good point. Very, very good point. So we're going to transition to our next topic, which is very, very important. So it's mentally maintaining in a world that is failing financially. So in terms of that, like, you gotta understand, like, all of this stuff is going on, and just as it transitions from the topic that Shanae talked about, with all of this going on, like, not only your finances, but depending on the makeup of your household, you're in the house with these same people every day, over and over and over again. Or if you live alone, you're secluded in the house by yourself for many, 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 many hours. And you know how it gets when you start thinking. So really taking it to be taking this time and making sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally. So we're going to let Janice is going to lead the discussion in terms of how do we maintain our mental health during a financially just failing world. Janice.
Yeah. So, I mean, look at it from this standpoint. I mean, not only are we definitely concerned, and this is everyone across the board, whether you have a budget or you have a small nest egg or versus not. Um, we're concerned about our finances. We are isolated in a sense. We cannot move the way we normally move. Do the things that we normally do. We are secluded, at home, and like you had mentioned, we have, we're with our family members, or you could not be with your family members, and that can take a toll on the psyche as well. That's huge. But one of the things that I feel like we definitely have to just keep focused with to keep our minds, healthy during this transition is just ask yourself, are we truly failing? And I'm looking at that from a standpoint of us, individually. Ask you have to continue to have self-talks with yourself, constantly to get through. I'm a very big advocate of that. But ask yourself, are you truly failing? This is not something where you're going to be, woe is me, this is the end, in a sense. Look at it from a standpoint of, has the nation as a whole, or have you individually gone through and bounced back from and became resilient? I mean, we can go take it back to the housing market crashing. We can take it back to 9/11, nationally as a whole. And the nation has bounced back. We bounced back. We bounced back as individuals when we are in, unforeseen times, from a personal aspect of things. And we just don't stay in that rut. We eventually get out of it. So we have to keep our mindsets to the focus of thinking of the positive, what's going to be the outcome, and it will be, and stress that, continues to say it to yourself, this will be a great outcome, and prepare for it. So for me, it's, I definitely stress and look at it from a standpoint of, and do some research. This time right now that we have to be still, it's such a great time to do a lot of research and just a lot of studying and looking back upon things. But look at that, we're going into election year. Look at the trends of during the election year time frame. This is kind of we've never had to deal with a pandemic in a sense. This is something new, but you have to focus on other things and the signs of different things and the trends. That's important as well, just to keep yourself occupied with your mind, knowing that I will get over this. This is just temporary, and I will get over this. I read something today where the current unemployment rate right now is like 14.7%. That's huge. That's high. But you also have to look at it from a standpoint of, because how the stimulus was put in, with the unemployment, independent contractors are a part of that unemployment, can file, self-employed workers, whereas that's not the norm. So of course those numbers are going to be high. Look again, do some research, and this will keep you in a healthy mind state to know that this is going to be definitely temporary. The trends of unemployment, in the previous years. I mean, back in the housing market crash, I think unemployment was at like, let me see what I have here. In 2008, 5.8%. Right before this pandemic, we were at 3.7, 3.9. So, again, it's huge now, but it's just a temporary thing. So something that I do on a personal for myself is I kind of, to keep myself going and staying focused on the positive, you just have to have a mind shift and keep that mind shift of, okay, how am I going to prepare for this time frame, and what am I going to do so when I come out of this, I'm going to come out of this on top. So, 3 aspects for me that I usually do is dedication, commitment, and sacrifice. Okay, so you have to decide to stay, dedicated to what you're trying to work on and you're trying to focus on. If that could be simply just thinking about creating wealth, creating generational change for your family, dedicate this time to focus on and getting a plan together with regards to doing that and implementing that. That's something that's new. Write your vision down. I mean, we hear that all the time. We hear that in church and whatever the case may be, but writing your vision down and having that visual vision boards at this time frame of what you want on the interim of this, that's huge. I mean, I have some vision boards that I've done in the previous. And even as a child, my mind, I imagine things. I mean, I talk about how I grew up in inner city. My parents, we did not own our own homes. My friends and family members, they had their own homes. I grew up in the projects, and then we moved around a lot from different rentals. But I would go about throughout my town, my city, and imagine on my bicycle, okay, I'm going to own this house. I'm going to own this house. It's going to be like this. So even from being younger, in the midst of a lot of negativity, I'm going to be real with it, I kept my mindset focused on this is only going to be temporary. I'm going to wait my turn and what's going to happen in the latter, and spoke it into existence. So again, we have to stay clear and do those things even now. Yes, our monies is funny. We can't, we don't know if we're going to have a job, if we're going to be laid off, the next couple of weeks. We don't know how long truly, the country is opening up, but how long will these different, it won't be back like we were once before. So we have definitely a new norm. So how we're going to cope with these things. But we definitely have to strategically plan and just stay focused with being positive and speaking that positive. That's the only way you're going to keep your mindset clear. And then commitment. I mentioned commitment. Doing research and feeding yourself with a lot of knowledge during this time frame, again, that's very important. I mean, even if you are starting up new businesses during this time frame, staying committed with the process, that's very important in going through, working things through, executing, implementing. It's kind of just like when you start a new exercise regimen, you have to be consistent with that in order to see results. So even with, saving and budgeting, you have to stay consistent in order to have good results. So we have to keep our mind consistently focused on good through speaking, through writing it down in order to have good results. So I'm very, very passionate about that. And then sacrifice. You have to make a sacrifice to trust the process. Trust that we're going to get through this. We're going to bounce back. We're going to be resilient, but trust the process and just make sacrifices to, build, and just continues to build upon that. And again, it's all with the mindset and just staying healthy, having that healthy, outlook. And don't stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. This will pass. It definitely will pass.
Those are very great tips. And what I want to add to that, in terms of dedication and commitment, so those were two very important points that you highlighted. But one of the things that you talked about was mindset. Your mindset. Telling you all, your mindset is vital, and your mindset is very key into how you make it through this thing. Not how you're going to be on the end, but how you survive and going through it. So although the unemployment rate is at an all-time low, there are jobs. There are people that are getting hired. So I'll give you a great example. So when you think about everything that goes on, whether it's a pandemic or it's whatever the wave of it is, whatever is hot and going on, whether it be a negative thing or a positive thing as we view in our eyes, there is some work that needs to be done, right? So guess what? I work for the Food and Drug Administration. We are the people who make the vaccines for the American public. So guess what? We are hiring, and we don't only need scientists. Scientists are not the only ones that make this process go around. It's all different types of positions. Last pay period, we hired, bringing on board 79 new employees. That's just last 2 weeks. And then over a 3-month period, I think our total was 179. So the federal government is hiring. So not just my agency, everywhere. And for the federal government, they're teleworking. So you don't have to actually go into the office unless you're essential, and they're making the waves with the essential. So you have to think about it and look at the way that the wave is going. And don't just look, especially if you're one who lost your job because of this. Look for employment. You have so much time on your hand right now. Look for employment. There are job opportunities that are out there. It's all about your mindset. If you're sitting back and looking at the news and trying to figure out when this thing is going to be over and not doing anything along the way, think you probably didn't even like your job from the beginning. So now is the time to utilize the time to make it and create it into what you want it to be. So yes, the numbers are low. That's a fact. The numbers are low. But what can you do to impact it, or what can you do to change it? So you got to focus on what power you have, not the things that you can't change or you can't do anything about. We know that we are in very shaky and uncertain times. We don't know how long it's going to be. And I'll tell you, it takes a year for a vaccine to actually be created and tested and go through the process. So the whole thing that you hear about it being quickly done, it's almost like impossible for that to happen. So as we go through this, we know that we are living a new normal, even if it's a temporary new normal. Y'all pay attention to all the things that's going on and shift. Shift with it, even if it's a temporary shift. And I guarantee you, as you start thinking about it, you won't focus on the things that you can't do. I can't go outside. I can't do this. I can't do this. You'll find creative ways to do it, whether it be through technology. You can visit your grandkids and your family members through FaceTime or Android, however y'all want to do it. I'm just playing. But I'm joking about the Android phone, but I'm being very serious about this. I started feeling guilty. Because my life really hasn't adjusted that much. Although it has adjusted greatly, it's my mindset. It's my mindset in terms of how I operate and how I handle it. So I could sit in here and be like, oh my God, the walls are closing in and then. No, like y'all, my creative juices have been flowing. My work for Do It has not stopped. All Saturday, I was doing resumes and business concepts. So people are actually like on the move doing things. And even if it is you were overwhelmed and you need to relax a bit, take advantage of this time and shift it. All of those things that you didn't have time to do before. And if you want to write a book, write a book. If you want to start a business, start a business. If you don't want to do any of those things and you just want to relax and get your mind together, do that. Yeah. Do that. But make sure you utilize this time and make sure you shift with it. And as Janice mentioned, do not get stuck. Don't stay stuck. That's the worst thing you can do. And it will really, really, really begin to mess with your mental. It will mess with your mental and mess you up so bad.
So you definitely have to seize the moment. Seize the moment. I mean, I love it for you, and kudos to you. You didn't speak enough about it, but your cooking and all of your dishes and what have you. I'm like, look at Latrine, this is good, But again, you seized the moment. You took this opportunity to develop something even more so, and you stay consistent and focused with that. And look at the outcome. I mean, and also it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good.
It really does. I haven't focused on the negativity. The only thing is I haven't been going to the gatherings. Like I didn't go over my daughter's house for the 30th birthday celebration. But other than that, I'm good. And I go outside and walk my 5 miles or 2.5 miles when nobody is outside and nothing is going on. So I pick and choose the awkward times, but I'm good, and it's because I focus on the things that I can change and focus on the things that I can impact. I'm in the same boat with like several people. You know what I mean? But making the best of it. I mean, truly, sincerely making the best of this situation.
Yeah. We have to remember, in the midst of all of this, God is still doing great things. He's still on the throne, and He's still doing great things. We wake up every morning. We have to be grateful and thankful for that, and we just have to continue to move. We just got to continue to move and navigate, and just keep a healthy outlook and positive outlook on it. This will pass, and we're going to be even greater. We have to do that.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come on the other side, we're going to dig right deep into it, and we're going to talk about finances. So a lot of people get into points where they think that what they have is not enough money. But I can tell you, Sucker Joanne has a way of making your money stretch and making you realize that what I have is enough. I can do what I need to do. And it's about they don't like it when I say how to become rich. They're financial gurus. They have an issue with that. But I have learned so much from them. But we're going to talk about on the other side how to make you financially better. How to make you financially better. So let's have a quick commercial and we'll be right back on the flip side.
Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. With over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within Florida and Virginia. Our firm services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Hey, you guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So the first half was very informative, and I love when we do Money Making Mondays because it helps me, and it has really helped me along the way. So make sure that y'all take notes as we go along. But you know how we do. I want to give a shout out. We have so many people that are on the line. So big shout out to my sister Veronica Renee Howard. Dr. Jennifer Jones, congratulations on your honorary doctoral degree. Neil Abel, just a lot of people from my childhood. Cecil Randolph, Brian Dean. We have Brenda Bailey, Dee Dee Hinton, Jackie Bandy, Major Bandy. We have Mandolin Michelle Smith, Tempe Satcher. I'm going to need to get with you about that sweet potato pie. My sister had a piece of it. Antoinette Joyner, Allison Daniels. Hey, Allison. Marissa Stewart, John Watkins, Latasha Briscoe, Marcus, and we have a couple other people. But let Sonda Hickman, Tamika Walker Chapman. Janice, who do you have?
Okay, I can see, oh my goodness, I see some of my friends from home, from my hometown, West Palm Beach County. Thank you, Kathleen. Kathleen, oh my goodness, we went to elementary school together, so thank you for watching. Kathy, hey, Kathy, I see you walking across that bridge, girl. I'm going to be like you. I see my cousin, Vivian. Hi, cousin. I see, let's see here, Eddie Dwight Westbrook. Hey, Dwight, what's going on? Sabrina, I see Sabrina Anders. Hi, Sabrina. So, yeah, that's about who I can see. So, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Tamika's joining us, too. Hi.
And Sakawajia, how about you? Who do you see?
Yeah, I see people from my hometown, my current business partners. So, Vanetta Colors, Bowman. Thank you. Ruthie Lucas, Casey Baker. Hey, honey, I hope you're doing well. I'm so sorry again for the passing of your father. I hope you're doing well, honey. Reach out if you need anything. Daryl Wilson, Felicia Brown. Hey, honey. Shirley Fanning Johnson. Hey, cousin. Mr. John Watkins, thank you again for joining. Eva, hey, girl. Thank you. Miss Ruthie Lucas, thank you for tuning in. And Miss Sophie Ford, thank you guys so much. It means so much for you to tune in and be watching, so I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And Shanae, who you got on your side?
Hey guys, I want to say hey to Vonzella Johnson. That is my godson's mom. We actually grew up together. Brittany, who is like a second daughter, Felicia Barnes. Hey Felicia, Walker Warriors for Life.
Awesome. So, also make sure that you share the show and follow us on our social media. So we have the same name for IG, Instagram, and also for Facebook. Let's Do It Talk Show. So please make sure that you follow those pages. And one of the things that I want to talk about is an HR event that's coming up. So big shout out to Dr. Jennifer Jones. She was actually on the news today and giving an overview of how to deal with your employment during this time, and she gave some tips on resume writing and some other things. So that's my HR friend, but she also had pulled together an event where me and several other of my HR friends are going to come together on May the 23rd. The event is free virtually, so please make sure that you register. We're going to move to the next phase of telling you and talking to you about how to elevate yourself in the career arena of your life, and it's free. It's free, y'all. So, and all of us have businesses and different things that we do, but we're coming together to collaborate and do this community event so that we can get you all geared up. So, thank you all. So, what we're going to do is transition into the third topic, and Saka Jawed is going to lead it. So, we're going to talk about not overspending, y'all. Like, I know that since you all have been in the house, so okay, so let me say the latter part since you've been in the house, because if you're like me, you probably got caught up with ordering online, right? Oh my goodness! So when it first started, it just seemed like everything that popped up online, I needed it, and I was ordering some things, and then I would let it sit out on the front because I didn't want to touch the box when it came. So it was just so much stuff. But I haven't been ordering anything, and so when you stop ordering things and you stop going to the store just randomly, you save a lot of money. You save a lot of money. So habits that we have picked up now, some good lessons can come from them. So, Saka Jawed, can you please lead the conversation? So we're gonna talk about how overspending is an obstacle to becoming wealthy, to achieving wealth. Saka Jawed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So thank you so much for that intro and transition, ma'am. I really appreciate it. And you touched on a very good point, first off, that right now, being in the house, being in the stay-in-place order and everything, a lot of the businesses being shut down, people haven't been spending like they were beforehand. And one thing I like to tell people is it's not like a rule, but a lot of times, 21 days, whatever persistent, consistent behavior you do, it can turn into a habit. The bad ones and the good ones, okay? So we got to keep that in mind. So I would just like to nicely just talk to people about, let's really be real about budget and money and finances. So a lot of times people are living, before the pandemic happened, paycheck to paycheck. So that's just something that's been huge. It was evident when the shutdown happened, when you had people in food lines trying to feed their families and things of that nature and couldn't pay their bills because of the shutdown of the federal government. And that happened twice. Now you have a pandemic that has literally locked down the country because of this virus that we don't know how long it may be out there. So when people are thinking about this, they're thinking about trying to get back to work. But, because of past events, what should be happening is we should be shifting our thinking in the sense of, if you have a 9 to 5 and you are getting a certain amount of income coming into the household, and then you are seeing that your expenses are exceeding that, you're kind of like in the red every month, then that's something that we need to start shifting and changing. Because as you see, anything and everything can happen. And if you're not prepared for financially, it can really hinder and hurt you. But hopefully this has been a time where, because the stimulus came in, it was a way to kind of hopefully help offset some expenses from people. And then also I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. They did curb their spending because they didn't have that luxury of going out. But on the catch-22 that you mentioned, because you don't have to go out, you get on the computer. and then you're kind of replacing that habit of going into a physical brick and mortar store with ordering online. And that's not how the shift should happen. The shift should happen in you taking this time and honestly assessing where you are financially, writing down all the income you have coming in from any little penny to whatever you make every 2 weeks, seeing how much that money is, and then also making a list of all of your expenses. And when I say income coming in, the amount of money you have coming in after taxes and health insurance and all that other stuff, what's being deposited in your bank account is what you need to be looking at. So take that amount, put it in one box, right? Then you go and you look at all the expenses, and I mean everything, not just the big bills, all the bills. Mortgage if you have a home, rent if you're renting, utilities, if you have HOA, if you have home security system, if you have groceries, if you're eating out, if you have major credit card bills, if you have student loan bills, I mean everything. If you're going to get your hair done, if you're doing your nails every 2 weeks, if you are have subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, all of that stuff adds up. Also, take into account the ATM withdrawals you were doing, how much cash you had on hand, because everything counts. And you really need to be honest with yourself and see where you were financially before this happened, where you are currently, and then where you want to be when this is over. This is really a great opportunity for you to take a real assessment and, make sure that we can go ahead and just put this together and see where we need to be. Because that's the major thing. It's like really getting in there and assessing your situation financially. Because it's not going to get better until you start making that hard look at where you are right now. Okay? So what we need to do is seeing that where you are, just see where you need to be, because really it's not a good place, because right now it could be financial stress, and the stress that you're having where you are thinking, hey, what am I going to do when this is over? Will or will I not have a job? Will I have a place to live? I mean, it can be really hard hitting issues that you may be facing. And so the main thing is really just getting out there and seeing where you are financially and seeing what help you may need, because you got yourself in a situation because you probably didn't know how to get yourself out of it. But right now is a great time to also get out there, look what resources are available, and see what help you need. Some people are in that situation where they can't even do the basic fundamentals of budgeting, of knowing what are expenses, what they should be looking at. Because I literally telling my clients and educating them, get a little notepad, one of those little dollar notepads from the dollar store, whatever, and track every single penny, not just dollar, penny that you're spending every month, to know where you are. Because what it is that you need to know where you are in order to change it. And don't feel so lost in the sauce, in a sense, that you can't get back to where you need to be financially secure. Because you can. It's just changing the habits. And a lot of times people have a mindset of, I want to work my 9 to 5, which is fine, but you're only getting in a certain income. And if that income is not supporting the lifestyle, two things need to happen. Either you need to increase that income so you have enough income to support that lifestyle, or you need to adjust that lifestyle to fit that income. It is really that simple. And so sometimes when we're frustrated with where we are in life financially, we want to kind of bury our heads in the sand and go on a little shopping spree, or we want to go and buy something to make us feel better. But in a sense, does that really make you feel better, or make you feel worse because you're spending money you don't have? And that's the realization that we all need to put ourselves into. And we need to be frank and honest with ourselves, especially if it's a generational thing that's happened, where you came from a family like I did, We didn't discuss money. We didn't discuss credit. We didn't discuss any of that. It was a hard knock life learning those things as I got older. And so it doesn't matter the situation where the past where you came from. It's how you want to correct your present and carry it into the future. So right now is the time, if you want a better future financially and you want to be more solid and you want to have better savings, a better retirement account, then this is the time where you need to start being real with yourself and know where you are so you can get to those goals. And it's never too early and it's never too late. It's just you're going to have to make some shifts to be at least be able to sleep at night knowing that you don't have a burden of a bill somewhere. So that's the main thing, is just really getting yourself in order financially, because this can happen two ways. Either you're going to come out this thinking, hey, I was able to save a little more and put some money in savings, and I realized I didn't need the amount of money I thought I needed to live. It was just, I was trying to get extras. It's like when I get $1, I got to spend $1. No, you don't necessarily. You want to make sure that when you get that dollar, you can make a decision with that dollar. Do I need to spend it on a bill, or can I put it in savings? That's how you want to live your life. You want to be a little less stressed, because this situation is going to put a stress on you anyway, because unfortunately with this virus, people are getting sick. And some people are recovering, majority of people are recovering, but some people aren't. So this has really become a life and death situation for some people out there. So get your stuff together. If you aren't, how can I say it, equip yourself to realize and put the stuff out there, you need a third party coming in and helping you. Find that. There are people out there who give free financial analysis to help you. Take advantage of this stuff and really do it what you need to do. And you can do it yourself. It's just being honest with yourself and knowing there are things you need to change in order to have a better financial situation.
Absolutely great information. I hope you all were taking notes. If not, make sure that you watch a replay such that you can go back. There are very simple notes, simple nuggets that you can take advantage of and impact your everyday life and your everyday activity. Because guess what, y'all? We're in a pandemic now. This is not going to be the last one. It's not the first one, and it's not going to be the last one. So, yes, we will get through it. And yes, this, because we're in the midst of it, right now it seems so devastating. We don't know. It's the uncertainties. But if you think of back in terms of 9/11, if you think of back when the market crashed, when you think back to various things, they all seem like they were so tough that we were not going to be able to get out of them. But the thing is learning your lesson while you're going through them. And as Dr. Joanne mentioned, like some of the things that you have been spending money on that you don't need to spend money on, or there are ways that you can carve and that you can save out with various things. And it's not a game. Like finances is not a game. Your financial status is not a game. It has never been a game. But because of what's going on right now, more people, we are able to see it, because we're in a stance where even if we're okay with paying our bills, it's still in the back of our mind of various things that can happen at any given point in time. Like anything could happen. So it's a matter of really paying attention to how you manage your everyday activities, and don't overspend in unnecessary areas where you don't have to. And don't get me wrong, everybody have their advice. Everybody like various things that they do. So I'm not saying for you to impact your quality of life, but just think about the things that you do, and think about all of the money that you throw away that you really could be saving to make the matters better. And it will help you with everything that we talked about. So with the debt, it'll help you mentally to alleviate being depressed when it's based on finances. Your mental state, it'll help you to mentally be able to focus and to go through. And then the other part is the key for you to take action in terms of making sure that you do whatever you do, that whenever things happen, that you find yourself in the best situation possibly that you can find yourself in. So what we're going to do is, so everyone has provided great information, and I'm going to ask them to provide their social media information. But what I'm going to do while we're doing this is we're going to like pay tribute to our parents, our mother. So in honor of Mother's Day, as you all provide your information and give your social media, can you tell me, let's see, what is the most valuable lesson, financially or life lesson, that you learned from your mother? So can we start with you, Janice?
Okay, so wow. My mother, she used to call me gal, okay, especially when I was in trouble. So she would always say to me, and it really did stick with me, and this was financial. She always said, gal, always have your own. Initially when she said that, I didn't really quite connect the meaning to it, but gal, always have your own is what stuck with me, throughout my adulthood. So for me, that's basically when I met my husband. I had the Janice Miller account, and to this day, I still have a Janice Miller account. So we have separate and together jointly, but that was my mother telling me, gal, always have your own. I always have to have something on the side that's mine. You can reach me, guys, and it's been a pleasure. I love doing Money Making Mondays with my ladies here. You can reach me on Facebook, Janice Bowles. My business is on Facebook is B Premier Ventures. I have a business Facebook page, and on Instagram you can reach me at Janice Bowles. So I'm just Janice Bowles.
Great, thank you for that, and thank you for the tip from your mom. How about you, Shanae?
My mother, God rest her soul, her name was Cookie, and people, that's what I called her. And people was like, well, why don't you call her mom or mommy? I was like, I don't know. And so I asked her one day, I was like, Cookie, why don't I call you, mom? And she was like, because my name is Cookie. Okay. And so my mother was practical and down to earth. And one thing that she taught me, I was the only child, and I was kind of spoiled, so to speak, and everything. But we lived with my grandmother. My grandmother, her mother was kind of like, she took care of the house. She was the matriarch. I was blessed to grow up in a house with my great-grandmother, my great-grandfather, my grandmother, my mother, and a block away lived my father's parents. So, I was really, really blessed. But one thing Cookie taught me is that quality beats quantity. Each and every time. And so by that, I mean, I was like, hey, I'm shopping at the Gap. We going to the Head Company and so forth and so on and everything. I was in elementary school. But she always told me, she said, if you buy quality, you only have to buy it once. If you go for quantity, you're going to keep buying it over and over and over again. And I'm learning that, and it's applying more so now to adulthood with everything that you purchase. So quality definitely beats, it trumps quantity every day.
Every day. Very good, very good, very good. Did you give your social media information?
Oh, my social media all across everything, Facebook and Instagram, is Professional Credit Diva, and my website is www.theprofessionalcreditdiva.com.
Thank you, and thank Cookie for that lesson. Yes. That is like so true. Quality trumps quality. How about you, Sucker Joanne?
Yes, so my mom, Miss Loretta Fanning, hey, I don't know if she's out there, but I know she's on Facebook, so she'll be watching later on. And so one of the things, it's kind of like what Janice was saying, it's like making sure you have your own. It's being independent, understanding money, and seeing what you need to do to have certain things, like saving the money, making sure, you're saving towards your goal, and don't over leverage yourself. So that was the main thing I learned from my mom. It's like, yeah, just not over leverage yourself, because you want to make sure you can take care of whatever you need to take care of and everything like that, because she found herself in some tight situations and she didn't want to be there again. So that was the main thing of life lessons, was just seeing, okay, cool. You need to make sure you have a plan and you're working with what you have in the best possible way. So you want to make sure that you're not just, out there just going crazy when you really can't afford it. So that was the main thing. Yes.
Absolutely. And what's your social media information and contact?
Yes. It is on Facebook and Instagram. It's Sacagawea Fanning. And on Facebook, my business page is Fanning Financial Group. So, yes, you can reach me.
Thank you so much for that, and thank your mommy for that tip. So, big shout out to my mother, Martha Howard, Miss Howard. And 2 tips really quickly. So, and that's my beautiful mom right there on the screen. I get it from my mother. But yes, so the first thing from a financial standpoint, she told me and taught me when I get my paycheck to make sure that I balance it out and I make sure that it lasts me to the next pay period at least. And that was like very early starting on. And then after that point, you can begin to save. But I never had an issue because my mommy taught me from very young to make sure that you stretch it out, whether it's your meals, it's your gas, your transportation, whatever it was. And I utilized that, and it really helped me growing up along the way. And then the life lesson. So here's the thing. She taught me at a very young age that they talked about Jesus Christ and he died to save the world. So basically, like all throughout life, when people talked about me, it didn't bother me. And it was really sincerely from that lesson that my mother taught me as a kid. So big shout out to all the mothers that are listening. Big shout out to your mother and everybody on all my co-hosts, all of your mothers and everyone out there, to all the mothers. Like, happy Mother's Day, and I hope that you really enjoyed it. So upcoming, so we have 2 new contributing hosts who will be joining the show, and I'm super, super excited. So now on the 3rd Mondays, we will be talking about careers and entrepreneurship. So still in the activity of the future, but I get to play in my HR sandbox. So joining me will be Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. She is from Virginia Beach, and oh my God, we're going to play in the HR sandbox. So we're going to be talking about resume writing, careers, just different tips for you on your job. We're going to have the lines where it's open, where you actually can send your questions in, and we'll help and assist you on the spot. And then for the 4th Mondays, we are bringing it back. So y'all remember those juicy shows that we had where it was like the women versus the men? We are bringing those back, and you may remember her, Shanika, Miss Neat, all the way from New York City. She is a matchmaker, and she is phenomenal. She dropped tip after tip after tip in terms of relationship. So she is the CEO of the Matchmaker The Help Meet Club. She is going to be joining us every month as a contributing host. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be fire like all throughout the month. So they're the guests that are coming up on the following shows. We have some juicy topics, and then we're moving on into the first week in June. We're going to have Dr. Stacy NC Grant from New York City. Y'all might have heard her. She's just that celebrity host. So a lot of the events that are big time, she's the host for them, and she's going to be on our show. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to be putting information out, asking you all about various topics. We have our topics for like the upcoming weeks or so, but like far out, we want to get your input, and we cannot wait to get back in the studio so that we can have you all as live audiences. And if you didn't see on my page where I shared the pictures of Urban Style Media, oh my goodness, the remake and the redo of it, when you walk in the door, you feel like money. You feel like money making money. You feel like money. It is so elaborate. We're going to have some great conversations in there. So keep the everyone from joining.
Bye.
Bye, my money making mamas.
All right.